They find the media presentation of sort of the circus atmosphere aggravating, depressing, disgusting, and it really kind of turns off the voters in Western Pennsylvania who are trying to make an informed decision. They may be coming late to that decision, but they don't find the daily media scandal useful in the least.
Pennsylvania Democratic Senator John Fetterman recently said this, that it was astonishing to see, quote, the intensity that Pennsylvania has for Trump this election. You're on the ground. You've been covering politics in the state for 15 years. Do you agree with Fetterman's assessment? What's different now from, let's say, 4 years ago or 8 years ago?
I don't know as I agree with the astonishing part. I think that's political rhetoric. Fetterman knows that Western Pennsylvania has been very, very strong for Trump for years. The only thing that has changed somewhat in this election after the attempted assassination attempt in Butler, there's a different vibe with a lot of Trump supporters. Now, these are people who were going to vote for Trump anyway, but there's a wider sense that maybe there's the sense is that there's the hand of God has a role in this election. That has always been present in a small section of the Trump electorate. But after the assassination attempt in Butler, that really grew in a way that I don't think anybody really expected.
I mean, how do you compete with the hand of God with some voters? So we are 3 days away from Election Day. What counties in Pennsylvania are you specifically keeping an eye on, Donald?
The most important counties, I think, and I think that most people are paying close attention to, are Erie County in the Northwest and Northampton County in the East. And the reason for that is these are two counties that were solid Obama counties in both 2008 and 2012. But in 2016, they swung hard for Trump and helped put him into the White House. And then in 2020, they both moved back to Biden and put Biden in the White House. So they're now considered bellwether counties. And it's a real question about, who's going to win those two counties. It may not be predictive, but it has been in the past two elections. So those two counties, I think most people are paying real close attention to, because the margin of victory in those two counties is really narrow. The other counties I think that people are going to be paying real close attention to are Philadelphia and the collar counties, Montgomery in particular, where Laura is, because those are traditionally Democratic counties. If Harris is going to win Pennsylvania, she has to turn out voters in those counties in significant numbers. And then if you want to gauge Trump support, any of the Western Pennsylvania counties, particularly counties on the southern Maryland, West Virginia border, like Bedford, that's a very Trumpy county. And if you want to see enthusiasm, you take a look there and see how many people are turning out. I know I talked to the director of elections in Bedford last week. They have more mail-in ballots this year than they did during the pandemic. So that's an early indication that the Western PA rural Trump counties are pretty fired up for Trump. Key county in the mid-state is Cumberland. Traditionally tends Republican, but it's a bedroom community for the state capital in Harrisburg. If you move further in the west of the county, it gets more rural. That's a key county because Harris can cut into Trump's margins there. That's one of the ways that helped Biden win in 2020. Trump won that county by about 18% in 2016, but he only won it by 11% in 2020. That margin helped Biden win Pennsylvania. So that's another county to pay attention to, because it's emblematic of the mid-state counties that are pretty populous, tend conservative, but can have margins that can go toward Harris that could make a difference.
Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.